What's up, everybody? Andy Boy, the American Kid, is back, man. And today I'm gonna be talking about 10 things I wish I knew before I started boxing. Just like everybody, when you start something new, when you come into something new, you don't really know what's going on. You really have no clue what to do. You have no guidance unless somebody steps up and decides to help you, a real leader. But if not, you're really on your own. So these are 10 things I wish I knew before I started boxing, man. Number one, oh my God, I wish I had running shoes. I cannot stress this enough. When you're boxing, conditioning is a key part of boxing. Be really conditioned or be in really good condition, you have to run. You have to run, jump rope, whatever you gotta do. When you're doing a physically demanding sport like boxing, you need the most protection possible. You need to protect your feet. You need to be comfortable while running because running is hard on the body. So any little edge or any little advantage, like having good running shoes, is a plus, man. I highly suggest getting running shoes. I mean, I had Vapor Maxes for a long time. As they were alright. They weren't all that. They weren't really good for running. But as soon as I bought some Saucony, some running shoes, man, like you could tell the difference immediately in comfort. That's one. And two, the results. I even got better results running in running shoes. So when I was running in my Nikes, I mean, it would hurt my feet a lot. It was uncomfortable, so I wouldn't run as much, or as not as much, but I wouldn't run at a higher pace and stuff. When I got running shoes, I felt like I could run forever. Like the running shoes, it was so comfortable. I just wanted to keep on running. I enjoyed, like running shoes made my run so much more enjoyable just because of the comfort. So I highly suggest getting running shoes too. Eat healthy. Like I know it's hard to eat healthy, but in a sport where you need to be in tip top shape and always be ready, I always advise people to eat healthy, eat good. And look, I'm not gonna lie, I'm guilty of it myself of not eating healthy. Like that's like one of my biggest issues, one of my biggest problems. But when I do eat healthy, I'm more efficient, have more energy. I could give more. Like I'm able to give more to the sport. But when I'm eating unhealthy, my performance levels are really low. And you don't want that in a sport. In a really competitive sport, you always got to be in your tip top shape. So I always suggest eating real healthy, man, because when you competing against these guys, everything, every little advantage matters. So eating healthy, that's a big plus. Three, practice the fundamentals. Fundamentals in anything is crucial. The fundamentals are important in boxing because let's say you're in a situation where you're really hurt, you're really tired, and you go back to the fundamentals, you're more protected. Fundamentals, keep your hands up, have a strong base, stuff like that. Use the jab. Like those are good fundamentals, but if you don't have good fundamentals, like you're keeping your hands down, your feet are together, you're not jabbing, you're not moving your head, like that's all bad fundamentals. So let's say in two situations you're practicing good fundamentals and bad fundamentals. When it really comes down to it, if you're practicing the good fundamentals, you'll last longer and you'll survive more. If you're practicing bad fundamentals, when you're in a dangerous situation, that's where you're going to go back on bad fundamentals, and that could get you hurt, especially in a sport like this, boxing, where you need to really rely on good fundamentals. I preach practice the fundamentals, especially as a beginner, but not even as a beginner. Like everybody with experience knows this. Every pro, anybody I've always talked to, they've always preached practice fundamentals. Like you see all these fighters, all these sharp fighters, not even fighters, athletes, all they do is practice the fundamentals, just constant repetition, repetition, repetition of the fundamentals. That's all it is. That's why it looks so beautiful because they perfected the fundamentals. They've mastered the fundamentals. That's really what it is. And then they could do all these cool tricks after they mastered the fundamentals. But in all reality, it all starts with perfecting the fundamentals. 4, do core workouts, bro. You don't understand how many people I've seen that don't do core workouts, and as soon as they start sparring and they get hit with a few body shots, they drop instantly. Not even drop instantly, like when you don't do core workouts and you get hit to the body, you slow down a lot more. So when you do core workouts and you you getting hit to the body, your body's more resistant and could kind of take and absorb a lot more damage as to somebody that's out of shape with like a belly and stuff. When you hit them, the punches are gonna sink in. But when you got them abs, the strong core, it's almost like a wall. So they gotta keep hitting that wall, keep hitting that wall to break that wall. But if you got like a belly and stuff, when you hit that wall, it's like you're punching right through it. It's like hitting an aqua bag. You don't want that. You ever hit an aqua bag? You know what it feels like to hit an aqua bag? It feels like every punch just sinks in. So imagine not having a strong core. And every time somebody hits you with a powerful punch there, it's like it's gonna sink directly in. You don't want that, man. Work on your core, especially in boxing. A strong core is essential to every athlete. A strong core will help you become better in all aspects. So, go to sleep early. That's the next one. Go to sleep early. That's number 6. Go to sleep early. You need a rest. You need to recuperate. So really rest the body. Let the body get its energy back so you could come back tomorrow at least and have something to give. But if you don't rest, you're not gonna be able to give. All you're gonna be able to do is receive a lot of damage, pain. Let your body rest. Let your body recuperate. 7. The next one. Study the sport. Study. Like, we've been blessed all our generation with YouTube. We could go on our phone, our laptop. You could go to a library, watch it on TV. Like, study the sport. Study these fighters. Study old fighters. This is a sport with a long history. So you don't just gotta study the fighters from now. You could go back years and years and years and years ago and study those fighters, but study the sport, know the rules of this sport also, because you gotta know how, you need to understand how to get every little advantage you could possible. So know the rules as well. Know the ins and outs. Study, just like in school. When you study, you pass the test. So you gotta study so you can understand what's going on. 8, the next one. Spar more often. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. Every time I see sparrings on YouTube, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram, whatever, like, I always see like people in the comments kind of be like, "Oh, that's too harsh. You're hitting him too hard." Like, I'm not gonna lie. Like, to be honest, like, as somebody that competes and does this, right? There's days that you could have a light sparring session, not a light sparring session, a light sparring session, yeah, light technical working on stuff. But sparring is sparring. You can't work around it. Sparring is physical. Sparring is gonna hurt. Sparring, you're gonna get hit hard. Like, I don't understand. Sometimes people be like, "You're getting hit too hard." Like, bro, what do you expect? Like, you think this is a basketball or some shit? Like, we're practicing to get punched and hit people in the face. And when we fight these fighters, like, they're gonna hit us hard. They're not gonna hit us soft. You have to be ready. You gotta be prepared. Like, I get it. You spar, light spar, mix it in. Like, switch up your sparrings. Like, you do light sparring, hard sparring, light sparring, hard sparring, stuff like that. But don't think you're gonna get into the sport and not do hard sparring. Like, yo, the people you're fighting are gonna go hard. You have to be prepared. You have to be ready. Like, it has to be intense sometimes. I get it. They're gonna hit you hard. Like, it's part of the sport. It's part of the game. You can't handle it. Go to another sport. Like, even in football, I get it. You're training and stuff, but you have to be physical. And in such a physically demanding sport, like, you have to be physical, man, because these other opponents, these other competitors, they're not gonna go light on you. They're not gonna take it easy on you. They're gonna try to take your head off. It don't matter in what aspect and what sport. Like, so spar often, but mix up the sparrings and don't expect it always to be easy sparring. This shit ain't easy, so don't expect easy. Um, 9. Oh my God, this one's so important. I wish I knew, like, I swear to God, I wish I knew this, but this is something you kind of gotta find out for yourself and experiment on your own. But I hope you do it the right way and don't learn like I did. The difference between losing and cutting weight. You must understand the difference between losing and cutting weight. Cutting weight is losing weight at a rapid pace in a small time frame. And that is insanely dangerous. I'm not gonna lie, if you're competing, if you're sparring, whatever it is, cutting weight is no, not good. I don't know how UFC fighters do it. That shit is really dangerous. Like, when you're cutting weight and you have to physically put your body through, it's almost like torture, bro. I swear, cutting weight feels like torture. That shit was horrible. Like, I really recommend you lose weight instead of cut weight. Because cut weight, lose weight, you lose the weight, but over a long period of time. And sometimes people like, oh, you have to, let's say they get a fight 1 week notice and stuff. That's why I always preach, always try to be prepared or always try to be close to your weight. So then when it's time to lose that weight, you can lose it smoothly instead of cutting it. And now you got to cut like 15, 20 pounds in like a week. Like, yo, that's crazy. It's insane. Don't do that. I've made that mistake before, and I'm learning, and I'm still learning. But do not make that mistake. That is torture. You're hurting your body. You're hurting your brain. Imagine being dehydrated and getting punched in the head. That's really how you get. That's how boxers get CTE, concussions, all this stuff. It's like they're taking so much punishment, and they have no fluid in their brain because they're dehydrated. So you're gonna get hurt and harmed even worse. So please drink water. Do not cut weight. Please don't cut weight. Like, do not do it. If you have to do it, like, you have to cut this weight because you got a fight coming up. All right, do it, but at your own risk. Like, you have to know what you're getting yourself into before doing that. So I don't recommend it because I've done it before, and I fought like that before. It's horrible, horrible. 10. The next one. You have to fight back, man. This is one thing I had to learn the hard way. In this sport, I've always had a problem. Like, I'm not gonna lie. So, like, in life, like, sometimes there's been moments in my life where I've never been the aggressor, but sometimes you have to fight back because when you're boxing against somebody that's trying to hurt you and he's throwing punching at you, coming aggressively at you, the only way you're gonna get him to stop, yeah, you have to have good defense, but you also have to fight back. Like, he's not gonna stop unless you give him something to respect. You have to try to gain your respect. Even in life, people are not gonna stop bullying you or stop trying to hurt you unless you punch them in the mouth. That's when they're gonna respect, once you fight back. But if you don't fight back, these people are just gonna walk over you and hurt you and do whatever they want to you, and you don't want that. Nobody likes feeling like that. I don't like feeling like that. I used to feel like that. I hated that feeling. So I really learned how to fight back. Like, it's so important to fight back through adversity, through anything, because when push comes to shove, like, you gotta fight back. You have to. So fight back, man. And last but not least, I skipped this one. I'm sorry. 5. This was number 5. I'm sorry, guys. I skipped this one. Take your time to find a good coach or a good teacher. I always preach, find a teacher, somebody that's gonna teach you boxing. Boxing is an art. It's a martial art. It's something, in my opinion, it's an art. I get it, to some it's a sport, pugilism, whatever you want to call it. To me, it's a form of art. It's a form of expression, of how to express yourself. But you need somebody that knows this sport, the ins, the outs, the everything. Unless you want to figure it out by yourself. Look, by all means, you want to figure it all by yourself, do it by yourself, or do it by yourself. You find out your way. That's up to you. But I think it would be better learning from somebody with more wisdom, almost having like a mentor teach you the ins and outs, teach you the right things, the fundamentals. Not even the fundamentals, the right mentality. Having a good teacher or a good coach, it's not only about teaching you how to fight. This person is also teaching you how to be a good man, a great person. Like, you have to find somebody that's helping you in general. Not, I get it, he's helping you in the sport and the art, teaching you that, but you also have to find somebody that's teaching you about life, somebody that really cares about you, loves you. Like, you can't just put your life in somebody else's hands, somebody that you don't trust or somebody that you feel won't protect you. Like it has to be somebody you really care about, somebody you trust. And I preach that a lot. Like this person, like he has to be a teacher to you, a mentor to you. And also he could be a coach. Like he is a coach. That's what he is. That was crazy. That don't even make sense. Yeah, he is a coach. But just make sure you pick who you want to pick. When the time is right, you're gonna know who to pick. But don't rush it neither. Like get in the gym. You know they have day passes and stuff. Just work by yourself for a little bit. You listening on other coaches teaching. You look, observe. Use your five senses, man. Look, observe, hear, everything. Well, I don't know about smile. If that bothers you, like if he stink or some shit, like you want to be. Nah, I'm joking. But yeah, so like use your senses. Like damn, you be like, I like what he's teaching. I like who he is. I like this dude's characteristics, personality. Like if this is somebody you would like to associate yourself with and somebody you would like to be around, like that might be the right person for you. So just know that too. So those are the 10 things that I wish I knew before boxing. Like, man, that I've been boxing for 2 years and 6 months already, and like, it took me this long to figure all of these stuff out, and I'm still learning. Like, that's the craziest thing. You still learn as you go in this sport. You never stop learning. There's never like a ceiling or a limit. It's always more and more and more and more. So that's another important thing too. You always got to keep learning. You're always going to keep learning. So these are just the things that I wish I knew when I started. But as you go on, you're going to learn a lot more. And I'm still learning a lot more. If you really want to think about it, I'm really on this journey with you. We're both starting together. So, yeah. But nah, it was great talking to you guys. Andy Boy, the American Kid, is out.